Look at this. It's 20 degrees outside. The homeowner spent $30,000 on this array. They were promised energy independence. They were told they were saving the planet. But right now, that $30,000 system is struggling to boil a kettle of water. Meanwhile, inside this house, I'm running a heater that costs less than a slice of pizza. It has no batteries. It has no inverters. It doesn't need a permit. And it's doing something that modern solar struggles to do. It is capturing 100% of the sun's energy, without losing a single watt to the grid. We have been sold a very expensive lie. We've been convinced that to harness the sun, we need silicon, rare earth metals, and a degree in electrical engineering. But what if I told you that the most efficient solar technology on Earth was invented 2,000 years ago? And you can build it in your kitchen right now for $3. There is a hidden system that the energy giants don't want you to rely on. Not because it's dangerous, but because it's too free. It's a system that bypasses the loss loop of modern electricity. It ignores the batteries, the wiring, and the fees. Today, I'm going to show you how to build the 0-watt thermal battery. It's a $3 setup that outperforms $1,000 panels in specific, critical ways. By the end of this video, you will understand why your current solar setup or lack thereof is leaving massive amounts of energy on the table, and you'll have the blueprint to stop renting your power and start catching it. Let's look at the math. Because the math doesn't lie, even if the commercials do. The average American family spends roughly $1,400 a year on electricity. Half of that energy, literally 50 cents of every dollar, goes to just two things: heating your space and heating your water. We aren't running supercomputers. We aren't charging fleets of Teslas. We are just trying to keep the shivers away. So, we buy solar panels. We buy the expensive ones. The ones that look like sleek black mirrors. And here is the dirty secret of the industry. Standard photovoltaic panels are terrible at heating. They are designed to turn light into electrons. That process caps out at around 20% efficiency. The other 80% of the sun's power? It hits the panel, turns into waste heat, and floats away into the atmosphere. You are trying to heat your house with a tool that treats heat as waste. It's like trying to fill a swimming pool with a spoon, while standing next to a fire hose, refusing to use it because you don't know how to hold it. We are obsessed with electrons. But we need heat. Here is the contrarian truth that will change how you look at your roof. Solar panels are a luxury technology. They are an intermediate step. You are taking high-grade thermal energy, the sun, converting it into low-grade electricity, losing 80%, and then using that electricity to run a resistance heater, which is 100% efficient at converting electricity back to heat. Do the math. 20% times 100% equals 20%. You have just wasted 80% of the free energy the universe just gave you. The solution isn't to buy better panels. The solution is to stop converting the energy at all. What if you could capture the heat directly? Direct thermal capture has an efficiency of, wait for it, 80 to 90%. It is so simple it feels like cheating. And it costs $3 because you don't need silicon. You just need to know how to trap a photon. To build this, we have to peel back the layers of complexity we've been conditioned to accept. Layer 1, the collector. We need something that gets hot when light touches it. But not just hot. We need dark. Black absorbs all wavelengths of visible light and converts them instantly into heat. We don't need semiconductor physics, we need a black surface. Layer 2, the greenhouse. Heat moves from hot to cold. It wants to leave. To beat physics, we need a one-way valve. Glass, or in our case, clear plastic, allows shortwave light energy in, but blocks longwave thermal energy from escaping. It's a trap. A thermal trap. Layer 3, the transfer. Air is a terrible conductor of heat. But if we trap it in a small space and force it to move, it becomes a battery. We need to create a current, not of electricity, but of air. Layer 4, the storage. This is the magic. Batteries are expensive. Rocks, dirt, water, they are free. They hold heat for hours. When you combine these 4 layers, you get a machine that breathes. It sucks in cold air from the bottom, heats it up instantly with the sun, and blasts hot air out the top. Here is the $3 setup that beats modern panels. Let's call it the solar siphon. Step 1, the absorber. Take an old window screen or a piece of metal flashing. If you don't have that, cardboard works. Paint it flat black. A $1 tube of tempera paint or even a Sharpie will do. This is your engine. Step 2, the box. Build a shallow frame. Scrap wood. Or even better, cut up a cardboard box. Tape it together to create a duct. It needs to be open at the bottom and open at the top. Step 3, the glazing. Cover the front face with clear plastic wrap, a cut-up Ziploc bag, or a sheet of glass from an old picture frame. Seal the edges with duct tape. Cost, $1. Step 4, installation. Place this in a south-facing window. Tape the bottom intake to let cold room air in, and leave the top exhaust open to the room. Watch this. Cold air enters the bottom. It hits that black screen behind the plastic. Because of the greenhouse effect, the inside of the box climbs to 150 degrees almost instantly. The air expands, becomes lighter, and rushes out the top, pulling more cold air in behind it. It requires no electricity. It creates a convection current that runs as long as the sun shines. Cost breakdown. Black paint, $1. Duct tape, $1. Clear plastic film, $1. Cardboard/scrap, free. To generate the equivalent heat output of this 3 square foot box using standard solar panels and an electric space heater, you would need roughly $400 worth of panels and a $500 inverter system. And the panels only work when the battery isn't full or dead. This box works 100% of the daylight hours. This isn't new tech. This is old tech. In the 1970s, during the oil embargo, people panicked. They didn't have access to high-efficiency monocrystalline silicon, so they improvised. They painted cans black and stacked them in windows. The Trombe wall, named after the engineer Felix Trombe, was patented in 1881. It's a massive masonry wall painted black and covered in glass. It soaks up sun all day and releases heat all night. We forgot this. We forgot it because the grid got cheaper. And because you can't put a meter on the sun coming through a window. Physics hasn't changed. The sun puts out roughly 1,000 watts per square meter of energy. A $300 solar panel captures maybe 150 watts of that. A $3 black piece of plastic captures over 800 watts of thermal energy. We regressed. We swapped efficiency for convenience. Why aren't we all doing this? Why is every roof covered in blue silicon instead of black plastic? 2 reasons. First, it isn't sexy. It doesn't have an app. It doesn't connect to the Wi-Fi. You can't monitor your thermal siphon from your iPhone while you're on vacation in Bali. It just sits there and gets hot. But second, and more importantly, the system hates self-sufficiency. The entire energy industry is built on the conversion of energy. They dig up coal to burn it to spin a turbine. They split atoms to heat water to spin a turbine. They capture sunlight to make electrons. Every conversion step is a place where they can insert a meter. If you heat your air directly, you bypass the meter. You bypass the grid taxes. You bypass the need for their infrastructure. It's not a conspiracy of silence, but it is a conspiracy of incentives. There is no money to be made in teaching you how to use cardboard in sunlight. The real power shift isn't technological, it's mental. It is the shift from being a consumer to being a harvester. When you buy a solar panel, you are buying a product. When you build this box, you are using a principle. Principles don't break. They don't degrade by 0.5% per year like lithium-ion batteries. This $3 setup requires you to look at the sun not as a light bulb in the sky, but as a fuel pump. But it's a fuel pump with a line that never breaks, and the fuel is always free. We obsess over the complexity. We think the harder it is, the better it must work. We think if it costs $30,000, it must save the planet. But the universe rewards elegance. The problem was never that we lacked energy. The problem was that we were trying to catch rain with a sieve instead of a bucket. You don't need a contract. You don't need a technician. You just need to stop the waste. You don't need to cover your roof in silicon. You just need to cover your window in plastic. The $3 setup beats the solar panel because it does exactly what you need it to do to keep you warm without pretending to be something it's not. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. In a world that is desperate to sell you a solution, the most rebellious thing you can do is find one that works for free. This box is proof that the future doesn't have to look like a sci-fi movie. Sometimes, the future looks like a piece of cardboard taped to a window. Be smart, be warm, and stop paying for what the sun is giving away for free. I want to challenge you. Don't just watch this video. Go to your kitchen, find a cardboard box, a trash bag, and some tape. Spend the $3. Spend the 20 minutes. Build the solar siphon. Stick it in your window. Then, come back here and tell me, did it work? If this video saved you even a penny, subscribe. But more importantly, start building.